Thank you again. Over the years, people have heard me talk about the past, the present, and the future, and I still speak to that because the past for our community is remembering where we're at. Our community, our elders, remembering the territory, the land that we used to use and couldn't use after a while. We remember the time when we had potholed roads. We remember the time that we didn't have electricity in our homes. No running water. I can remember going to the river fetching water for my mother. All of those were the past for our community, and as we have developed and moved on as a nation, we have done that collectively throughout the leadership that we've had. To this day, I'm very proud to say that a lot of our young people, and I'm very confident in your leadership today, all the young adults that we have that you choose as your political leaders right now. I'm very proud to say that they are really, really working on your behalf. And the vision of our community has always been education. I remember talking to Helk and Chief Joe Mitchell years ago, and our talks about, well, we can't fight this battle with swords, with knives, with rifles, or anything. We need to fight them with our education, with the pen and the paper. I remember talking to him about that. And it's there that we started to develop a strategy for our community and how we were going to proceed on and in the best interest of our community. We talked about our relationship with one another as all of the First Nations that surround and share the land beside us, the Shishal, the Qualicum, the Comox, the Campbell River, the Homalco, the Clahoos, and even to the other side of the Tofts here, Little One. Our history goes back a long way with our relationship with all of those nations. And again, in our past, fortune has fallen upon our nation because of our perseverance. And I really believe that the education of our young people has put us into this position of a good place right now, and a good feeling for the future as to where we are going as a nation. The principles that we talk about fairness, openness, transparency, spirituality, and all of those things were talked about our people. Our people said, this is our plan. We've done comprehensive community plan, economic development plan over and over again with our community members, and our community members have spoken loudly that the Indian Act was not good for us. We've used it to a certain extent, but we outgrown that use. It became a hindrance, it became an obstacle. So as fortune falls upon this nation again, we were fortunate that along came two initiatives, the Land Code Initiative and the Maiden BC Treaty process started off, and we, as a nation, jumped on that in terms of, okay, our community said, get out of the Indian Act. So what were those options? We came to the community and said, what are the options of getting out of the Indian Act? And we pondered over that, we consulted with our community members, and as I said, good fortune falls upon us that the Maiden BC Treaty process came along, because we had analyzed the situation and the number of years that it took for them to accomplish their goal. We looked at the Shishal Enabling Act, West Bank, self-governance, and all of those initiatives were there, and then the doors closed on us. So again, BC Treaty came along, and we jumped on that. We got on that canoe and said collectively, this is one of the opportunities that we should proceed with in terms of opting out of the Indian Act. Along with that, the Land Code, which is 25% of the Indian Act, with the lands and the resources, we used that and we said, okay, let's utilize this process here of the land and the resources as a demonstration to our community that we are very capable of looking after ourselves and taking away 25% of the Indian Act. And we've had all along the way a lot of support, from the city, the region, all of the leadership, the BC Summit, BC Treaty Commission, federal and provincial, working together. And, presently right now, I feel really good because the future holds well for us as Tla'amin people. I believe this year, if I'm correct, Chief, that we have 17 graduates this year. Is it 17? 22 graduates. And I really do. I think all of those 22 graduates are in here serving and volunteering to this, so thanks a lot to them. So our future holds well. And I feel really good today, about analyzing the steps and the history that we had to endure, the peaks and valleys, the obstacles that we've had to overcome over the years. And I say this process is going to be a process where you, as members and citizens, will give direction to your leadership in terms of the direction that you want to go. This openness, transparency, and all we have to deal with the Constitution, governance, and all of the tools that are in place are safeguards and mechanisms that are there to protect the citizens of Tla'amin. And you alone will be the ones that will give direction to our leadership. And, as one of the First Nations that come out and stick their necks out and say, okay, we're coming down this path, but remember, our nation were in this path. We were self-governing long before the Europeans came. So we're just come a long circle back, and now we will give direction and we will work together. If there's any problems that we are starting to go sideways on, we collectively will fix that. And I wish everybody well in the future, and I'm very happy to say that I think we will have a good future. Thank you very much.